Oh my gosh, man. I thought everyone learned from the Xbox One, especially someone like Nintendo. I don't understand how Nintendo's taking a sure thing and they put a little Xbox One marketing on this sucker. What's going on, you guys? Gaming Ad here, coming at you with another video. Today we're going to be talking about the Nintendo Switch. And we're going to be talking about somehow Nintendo is doing it again, man. They had a smashing success known as the Switch, and they are coming out the gate falling straight on every rake known to man. Kind of like what you saw on the Wii to the Wii U. You know, similar name, Switch 1 to Switch 2. And I will say Switch 2 is a better name to not confuse the general demographic. But there's a lot of things that people aren't liking about the Switch 2, such as the pricing of the games, which I think at the end of the day, people will end up just buying the game. They'll complain all they want. Are you actually going to support the game in the long run and actually not buy it? I don't know. We'll have to see. But it's not what this video is about. During the Xbox One generation, Don Matrick, they were having an interview with Jeff Keighley. Now, there was a lot of things that went into the Xbox One generation, and I don't want people thinking that I'm coming up here saying that that Nintendo's following, the Xbox One thing, bar for bar, because I don't believe that. There was a lot of aspects that led to what happened to the Xbox One, just like there's a lot of aspects that led the Wii U to the fate it had. From the always online thing, bad messaging. There's a lot of variables that took on to with the Xbox One generation, but one of the worst was the interview with Don Matrick, where Jeff Keighley was just asking him questions related to what it means to be an Xbox One and the fact that it's always connected. And when it comes to these kind of situations, you kind of want to think before you say something. Did Don Matrick think before he said something? I actually went back and we gonna listen to this, chat. We gonna listen. Let's pop over here. So here it is. Here's the interview between Don Matrick, Jeff Keighley. This is about 53 seconds long. We're gonna get to this because I'm very curious. I haven't heard it in a long time. We're going straight into this blind. I know what happens here, but first off, me and Jeff Keighley might have issues, but this wasn't an issue. We might disagree on certain things in the industry. I have respect for what he's done in the industry, but Jeff Keighley, this is not one of them. I respect you for this one. So let's pop in here, 53 seconds. Let's do it.
It's a great line for games.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I think people are going to love it, and then they're going to understand what we're trying to create and how it links games and entertainment, the functionality of the box, some of the advantages that you get of having a box that is designed to use an online state. So that, to me, is a future-proof choice, and I think people could have arguably gone the other way if we didn't do it, and fortunately we have a product for people who aren't able to get some form of connectivity. It's called Xbox 360.
Right. So stick with 360. That's your message if you don't, like it?
If you have zero access to the internet, that is an offline device. I mean, seriously, when I read the blogs and thought about who's really the most impacted, there was a person who said, hey, I'm on a nuclear sub.
Right.
And I don't even know what it means to be on a nuclear sub, but I've got to imagine that it's not easy to get an internet connection.
Ooh. So as you guys see there, essentially what happened there is they asked good old boy Don Matrick. They're like, look, if you don't have an internet connection, what do you tell those people that want to invest into your new ecosystem? Well, your new console that's going to come with its own exclusive ecosystem. Keep in mind at the time, Rise of Sun was out. Dead Rising was out. Rise, Son of Rome was out. And Dead Rising 3 was out. There was exclusive games. I'm pretty sure at this time, maybe you can correct me in the comment section, but Titanfall was already announced at this time. Maybe it was after this that was announced. I don't know. I'm sure someone in the comment section will correct me. So there are games that's only going to be on this platform. So you want people over here. You never want to tell your existing viewers, your existing fan base, that they shouldn't upgrade. And you never want to make them feel like they're lesser, that they can't get an online connectivity. Because even though we kind of went this direction anyway, there's countless games that are only online. So Microsoft was doing the right thing, but they were doing it too early. Because sometimes that means more than being iterative itself, is the fact that you can think of all the great ideals, but if you follow through too late, it's going to hurt you in the long run anyway. So why are you asking? Why are we bringing this up? Addict, what does this mean? Does this matter anything? Well, I'm glad you asked. Because this interview here that they had with Doug Bowser, he is essentially what Don Matrick was at that time. They just asked him about, the pricing point on the Nintendo Switch 2. There's a lot of aspects that goes into this, and we want to know what you guys think about the unnormally, higher price point. It's the most priced out Switch Nintendo product I think's ever existed, besides maybe the older systems. But this is what he said. We recognize that there are people that may not be able to afford the Switch 2's price point. That's why we wanted to make other Switch platforms available, so people still have an opportunity to come into our gaming universe, be part of these characters in these worlds, and see value, if will, in whatever rang up the platform they come on. Once again, you cannot tell people, because even though I don't know if Mario Kart World is exclusive or not, you can put in the comment section below. I'm pretty sure it's exclusive to the Switch 2. Maybe they'll port it later on. I don't know. Maybe it's one of those things where they come out first. You don't tell people to not upgrade. You don't make people feel bad that they can't upgrade. In my personal opinion, I'm not trained in PR. I'm only trained in being an influencer. I've been doing it for quite a while at this point. This is how I would have handled this. And this is just me. Put in the comment section below what you would have said to Nintendo. Now make it make sense, guys. Don't go in there saying some crazy stuff. But I would have said this. I would have said, look, the economy and the way it is, it takes more money to make these components. Our prices go up, our rates go up. We want to make sure that we get to as many people as possible by still delivering a superior product that people can value, people can play games, that people can enjoy. And unfortunately, that results in raising prices, cost of inflation. Everyone's blaming inflation for everything. And Nintendo didn't see the out. Obviously, I'm not a PR person, so I'm sure there's plenty of people that could tell better ones, but that's just me. Maybe not line for line. You could have said something like that, Nintendo. But what did you do? You told people that if you don't like the price point we came up with, stick with the Switch. And guess what? If I've seen one thing in all the years I've been doing this, when you give people an ultimatum like that, when you even be a joking like that, guess what these dudes are going to do? They're going to take you up on that. They ain't going to actually buy that. They're going to stick. They're going to be like, bet. We ain't buying it. Look, the economy's horrible. Do I think this should be $450? No. Especially where they've region locked it to Japan for $330 or $350. I don't know which one it is. Definitely correct me in the comment section. My thing is, what am I going to do? I don't want to pay $450 for a console, and I don't want to pay $80 to play Mario Kart. But am I going to stop gaming? Probably not. If everyone raises, because I don't see this as a Nintendo raising this on 80. I see this as the whole industry going to raise this on 80. Nintendo's just the first ones doing it. It wouldn't surprise me if the whole gaming industry has this room that they come to and they talk to each other and they decide how much they going to screw us this year or not. And they're like, Nintendo, this is your turn. You have a console coming out. You have a product known as Mario Kart that can survive it. You walking through the fields first. You get blown up a little bit, that's fine. We'll come through, we'll patch you up. 2K gonna come through. They're gonna give you all the stuff you need. Because we walking through that because you stood on the mines first. I'm curious what you guys feel. Here's the thing. If there was a legit movement, like a Star Wars Battlefront movement or an Xbox Live movement, where they were going to raise the price, and I felt like there was legit going to be a boycott. Like, not just some small minority, small portion of the internet saying this. If there was a legit amount of people that I felt like was going to affect Nintendo's bottom line, and Nintendo knew these people were going to stand on their ground, I'd be there too with you guys. I wouldn't buy the Switch at launch either. But I ain't gonna be. We too much, guys. We can't say no. How often do we do this, guys? Well, we'll sit there and say Call of Duty's the worst it's been in years, and we still go out and buy that shit every single time. And I don't see it changing this time. I don't. I see this exactly being the same way. And guess what? Nintendo knows that. But geez, I never expected in 1,000 years that we're going to see someone follow the Don Matrick. If you don't like it, stick with what you have or buy our past stuff. Because I felt like every company looked at this and realized that was not the right move. That was not the right call. And Doug Bowser, even though your last name is Bowser, you probably said one of the worst things you could say in this industry. Because I know gamers. Gamers will be like, bet, we'll stick with the Switch then. Look what happened with like Battlefield 5. When you tell people not to upgrade, not to buy stuff, guess what? They're going to do that. But that's just my opinion on the matter. Look, it's like I told you guys. I don't want to pay $80. I don't want to pay $450. I'm a little bit more okay with the console because I only got to buy that once. Way more upset with the $80 price point. But I know just as well as the next person, I got zero self-control. And if I want to play these games, I'm not waiting. Maybe I won't pre-order because I do think that's something we can definitely do better on. Don't pre-order. Don't show the people what they're going to make before they make it. Go in there day one and buy it. I will agree with that. Now, I'm not going to tell people not to pre-order. If you want to pre-order, pre-order. By all means, do what you got to, man. But me, I ain't pre-ordering. Now, the console is different because you kind of have to pre-order the console to be able to get it. Can't really go through there. It's probably not going to be a situation where you can walk in and get a Switch 2 launch without pre-ordering it, in my opinion. If I knew there was going to be a huge amount of stock for the Switch 2, I probably wouldn't pre-order it. But I know that's not the case, and it's foolish for me to think so. But what's going on, man? I appreciate everyone. Okay, if you guys enjoyed this video, definitely hit that like button. It's also appreciated. You can always sub to the channel. We are bringing back weekly stuff. We probably make a video or two a week here. There's just been really dead. There ain't been a whole lot to talk about. It's something that interests me. I'm interested in a lot of stuff, but it's been shockingly dry the past couple days. But I appreciate everyone coming through. And until next time, this is Addict. We're out. Peace. Definitely follow me on Twitter at LordAddictILP. And we streaming. There's something wrong with the streaming stuff. I don't know. But see you guys. Peace.